Hey everybody, this is Reza.
This is Sandy.
Welcome back to episode 33 of the Stone Cold Sober podcast.
Love it, 33, great number.
Yeah, so we're recording this early. We're recording this on a Wednesday, which is very much unusual for us.
But for good reason. We're
Yeah.
definitely, you're right, we're recording it, but we'll get to that. We'll get to why we're recording on a Wednesday in a minute. First things first, want to give a good shout out to people who listen to to our podcast, our little passion project of ours that we started a couple of. How long has it been? When do you think we started this thing?
We started this in 2014. It's coming up on a year soon, which blows my mind.
Will it be a year like on the 52nd episode?
No.
Or like on the 50th episode?
No, because we missed a couple of weeks, I think. It'll probably be like episode 48 or 49. We started this before we went to Brazil. So I want to say we started this either early October or, you know what? I have episode 1 right here in the link, so I can tell you exact. September 24th. That will be our 1 year.
Oh, wow.
And
so it's like around episode 40 then, theoretically.
Yeah.
Not even. If this is episode 33.
Yeah.
And this is July, end of July. 4 more, maybe 5. So 38, 36, 37, 38?
Yeah, and keep in mind that I will be away in Europe for 2 weeks, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to do the podcast at that point. So we might miss 2 weeks.
Unacceptable.
There. I'm just letting you know, Sandy. I'm letting you know how it is.
We're gonna have to. We'll figure it out.
Look, I'm giving everyone like several months notice. All right, I only have to give you 2 weeks, and I'm giving you like 2 months. All right.
First of all, it ain't even like that. All right. it's about manning up and doing the right thing.
And spending the time with my girlfriend.
That's secondary.
Secondary.
But like I said before, want to give a shout out to all of our listeners, and we're learning to read the comments. Somebody left a comment in episode 31?
Yeah, 31. So last week,
and it was a listener had asked us a question, me in particular, what Sandy's dad thinks, what his thoughts might be on how to live a good life. It's a little late tonight when we're recording this, so I'd like to sort of give a hypothetical view on how he might, and then we'll call him for the next one. How about that?
Yeah, perfect.
We'll call him in, and we'll have him our second guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So the question that got asked was, what Sandy's dad's thoughts on how to live a good life. I think he'd start out by saying, starting a family. My dad's been on my case about starting a family for a minute now.
How long would you say? Since you graduated college?
I think since I graduated college, yeah.
All right.
But it's about sort of finding a passion in life, working hard, making enough money so that you're financially secure. You can raise a family, provide for all their needs, and just being a man, in the classical sense. Taking care of business, never complaining, letting things rest on your shoulders because that's how it should be. My dad had a really, really crazy life. Came from nothing, poor farmer's boy in China, and now is one of the preeminent scientists in the world. It doesn't get more epic than that.
Right.
There's very few stories that get more epic than that.
Living the American dream.
Living the American dream.
Like if you look up in the dictionary with the American dream, your dad's story could be like the top definition. Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe encyclopedia would be the better look up for that, because I find the whole dictionary thing a little bit cliche.
Yeah, like if I Google my dad's name right now, typing in his name, I mean, my dad is just dominating right now, just absolutely dominating Google. It's absurd. how prominent he is, and this was sort of, echoed when he got his award, and I got to see how his colleagues and his team and people that work for him, or people that don't even know him personally,
Right.
coming up to me, coming up to him like he's a rock star.
Yeah.
That was very humbling for me. That made me incredibly proud of my dad.
Yeah.
In a way that you normally don't get to see your parents sort of operating professionally. Because that's sort of like a hidden world. You never really get to shadow your folks when they're at work.
Right.
So I think that's the answer to the question, and we'll get him on the podcast next time. See what he has. Get it from the horse's mouth in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the reason why we're recording on a Wednesday.
Yep. So why don't you tell us, Sandy? Why don't you let the world know?
Well, I'm going to San Francisco.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to San Francisco to see about a girl. To borrow the famous line from Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch stole my line. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. It was his birthday yesterday.
Was it? I think
it was.
I didn't hear anything about that. I'm surprised. I know Reddit loves him, but maybe I'm not subscribed to any of the subreddits that would come up.
Robin Williams, born July 21st.
Yeah.
So it was yesterday. Yeah, son of a bitch stole my line. Yeah, it was. It's been a long lost friend. Who I hadn't talked to since the beginning of senior year of high school.
So solid 9 years almost.
Solid 9 years, man. It was someone that I met at a summer program in high school, governor school. I thought she was gorgeous back then. I think she's gorgeous today. She was definitely out of my league in high school. I think everyone was out of my league in high school.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised I had a girlfriend in high school. I don't know what she saw in me. I never saw nothing in me. But yeah, she so the story goes, right? Have I told the story on the podcast before?
I was gonna say, yeah, you have actually told the story. You've mentioned her on the podcast, but it's been a while, so you can go ahead and tell the story again, at least for the people that don't know, that aren't familiar.
Yeah, for those that are loyal listeners, I'm sorry you got to hear the story again, but it's such a beautiful story that we'll have to tell it again to give the full context.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened in January. I was out with some coworkers, and I get a Facebook sort of tagged post saying from this girl that she's in the city and she wants to grab dinner and catch up with people. Now, I wasn't the only one tagged on this note, so I told myself, if anyone else says yes, I'm not gonna go. There's just no point. There's absolutely no point, because I didn't want to have to catch up with randoms.
I completely understand. It's when you haven't seen so many people in so long, I feel like it's a bit easier and maybe nicer to just do it one-on-one, right? But if you have to do it with six other people that you haven't seen in however many years, it could be a bit awkward.
No, exactly.
Or just not as personal. Maybe not even awkward, but yeah, not as personal.
No, I think you're right. I think the way you said it before was right.
Okay.
And so one by one, people are saying, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show up for a number of reasons. So I said, yeah, let's go. She had originally asked to go to some place for dinner, and I said that's probably not the best use of your time to travel all the way downtown.
Yeah.
And all the way back up again. So why don't I pick a place?
Can I guess?
Well, not yet.
Damn it.
Not yet.
All right, fine.
But it was gonna be. I said, "Well, pick a place close to your hotel."
Okay.
Because she was staying near Lincoln Center, so I didn't want her. It was cold. It's January.
Right.
It was a cold winter. No point in commuting more than we need to. Um, when I go to the hotel and I pick her up in the lobby, I see her sitting in the lobby, and let me tell you, Reza, just a vision, an absolute vision.
Okay.
Someone that makes you stop dead in your tracks. Just the most beautiful person I had seen in a long time.
So Lena was there.
You know, it's funny. Elena was there. I didn't
Ah,
want to bring this up the
nah,
whole time. No,
yeah,
Are we stop?
now it all makes sense. I can
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because you saw the most beautiful person there. She made you stop. That's how I feel. Is that too cheesy? Am I gonna get called out for this? Continue.
See, I don't know. I don't know what doesn't make sense now. Because if I agree that it is Elena, and
Yeah.
you say it doesn't make sense, are you saying she doesn't actually look that way?
No.
Is she not the most beautiful person?
Th-
I'm just trying to get you in trouble.
Now you just found. Yeah, exactly. Continue.
Did it work? Is it gonna work?
No, it didn't work.
Well, I tried. But you can now guess the name of the restaurant that I took her to.
Are we taking bets on this? Like, what are the odds here?
One of the odds. Well, if I give you the odds, then I have to give you like options.
Oh, okay. All right. Screw
And
that.
there's no point in that.
It's too much time. The Smith. You took it to the Smith.
Boom.
Yeah.
Hashtag you always right. It was good. Now, my original plan was, an hour and a half tops, right? You catch up, you have some nice things to say to each other, and then you run home.
Yeah.
This was in January. I was in the middle of a West Wing marathon.
Right.
You remember how hard I
Yes.
used to watch? You remember how hard I used to watch West Wing?
I can't believe it's been that long because it feels like it was just like two days ago.
It felt like 2 days ago. It's crazy. Some of these memories stay with you. But yeah, we're at the end of July, man.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah. So we caught up from the beginning.
Yeah.
We caught up from end of high school into college, deep diving into college and our experiences, and then from 2011 to where we are today.
Yeah.
And we started sharing things that you don't share with just anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was crazy what we were sharing to each other. Incredibly intimate details, incredibly personal stories. And it was quite the breath of fresh air to be able to share some of this stuff with people, but also to just feel that comfortable with somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. And I know that part of it is that stranger effect.
Right.
You share stuff with strangers because you feel like they're not going to be part of your life, and that it's easy to sort of have that shared intimacy because you feel like once this person leaves, there's no effect on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 hour turns into 2, turns into 3. Later on in the dinner, we talk about reading. At this point, the New York Times had just come out with that love questionnaire. You remember that questionnaire?
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah,
Let me see if
way
I can
back then, at
quickly
least.
pull it up. Yeah, it was in Mandy Len Catron's. I butchered that last name. In Mandy Len Catron's modern love essay, quote, "To fall in love with anyone, do this." She refers to a study by the psychologist Arthur Aron and others that explores whether intimacy between two strangers can be accelerated by having them ask each other a specific series of personal questions. The 36 questions in the study are broken up into 3 sets, with each set intended to be more probing. So we had both read about this,
Right.
but didn't read the questions because we wanted to have a true test with somebody.
Yeah.
You weren't pre-filtered. You weren't able to think about your answers by seeing the questions beforehand. So we got really close and we started asking these questions. And in the first set, it's really sort of top level. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But then it gets like much more intimate on the details that they're asking you to sort of share. And we did it, and we felt we were able to share that vulnerability with each other in a crowded restaurant. And I was having dinner with a very, very close friend of mine tonight. and we were discussing some things that required both of us to be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is it's like a conversation that you and I are having right now, where we can be as vulnerable as we want with each other. Um, but in a restaurant setting like the Smith, where it's so lively and so bustling,
Right.
no one's listening to other people's conversations. No one can be bothered with other people's lives. Everyone else outside of your immediate sort of sphere of influence is a supporting actor, is an extra on set. So we were saying, like, we can have this incredibly intimate conversation, but the second you operate on the outside of our eyes meeting, or you go too high of an altitude, it all becomes white noise. And that's how it felt that night, where we
Okay.
were able to sit next to each other,
Yeah.
enjoy this incredible connection that we were having with somebody, and then and just be close to each other in a public place like that, where
Yeah.
nobody else could frankly give a damn.
Right. Right.
Um, and then the meal comes. I pay for the meal. She totally could pay for the meal. She makes more than I do, but that wasn't the point. That wasn't the point. You know what I mean? It was a gesture to say I appreciate your company tonight, and opening my eyes to the good time that we had, the unexpected good time that we had.
Right.
Um, and then as I'm walking her back to the hotel, which is a few blocks away, I'm thinking to myself, "This is incredible. I have a wonderful night that I'll always remember, and I get to go back and watch The West Wing and go to bed. Like, life cannot get better than this."
Yeah.
Um, I drop her off at the hotel. She turns around. She goes, "Do you have a bedtime?" And then, does Sandy have a bedtime? Does Sandy have a bedtime? Sandy does not have a bedtime. Um, so I told her no, and then we headed up for a drink, and this went on to about 2 or 3 in the morning.
So you're just like hanging out in the hotel
Where
bar, just talking.
hanging out in the hotel bar. In the beginning there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then as people slowly started to filter out, it was just me and her having this like really having a continued intimate conversation. And we sort of shared some things like, in another life we'd be together. Just if we were in the same city, clearly there's a chemistry that's undeniable.
Yeah.
But due to life's little idiosyncrasies, our paths never cross until this moment.
Yeah.
And then
And like what a moment too that led to it,
right, because so many things had to go right.
Right. Not like she had to be in New York City. She had to go on Facebook to make that post. Nobody could respond. You had to see it and then decide that you felt like going out of your way to do it. Like,
Right.
you could never have known how well this could have gone.
Exactly. No, I'm sorry. Exactly. But I sort of responded to her statement, but knowing how we operate, why wouldn't we be together? And this is a gimme question, but she says because we're both control freaks, and neither of us are willing to cede control. And that's something that I've really developed my time in New York. I've become not bitter, or I've definitely become jaded. Um, I find it hard to trust the good in people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you my thoughts on this. I It's very hard to find a native New Yorker, but I think this sort of applies to everybody. It don't matter if you're a native New Yorker or someone else. New York will not inexplicably, will tangibly change a person most of the time, for the worse. And what I mean by that is, everyone comes to New York with a dream. Everyone hopes to achieve something when they come into the city. They say if you make it here, you make it anywhere. And that's absolutely a fact. That's why millions of people are here trying to make something of themselves. Now, these young transplants like us, who come here, you know, have an active relation with New York will always be wronged by New York in some way. Now that might be a rude a cab driver, something on the subway, a relationship with somebody in New York. There's always something that happens that goes wrong in New York.
Yeah.
And little by little, that doe-eyed, cheerful outlook it becomes a little bit hardened. And my hypothesis is that people become harder in New York preemptively so that they don't ever have to feel like they're on the receiving end of some nonsense ever again.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen myself develop that trait. I've been with a couple of women in this city, and you never feel like. I guess it depends on who you're with, obviously, and what stage of life you're in.
Yeah.
But everyone's so caught up in trying to be the best them that it's hard for people to stop, look around, and say, "Hey, this is where I'm at right now, and I'm okay." And it's life's little cruel joke that forces you to have more of that perception when you've passed that point.
Yeah.
So, all of this is to say that neither of us, neither me nor the girl from California, are willing to give up control. We're control freaks that way. I'm not saying she and I have the exact same experience, but I'm letting you know where I'm coming from.
Right, right.
It's very hard to open yourself up knowing that you are, in effect, opening yourself up to become vulnerable and for someone to judge you. And who wants to be in that position? But as my very wise younger sister says, that's a shitty way to live life.
Thanks, Julia, for giving the hard truth.
Yeah, hard truths. Hashtag hard truths. But that was the end of that night. I said goodbye. I thanked her for a very wonderful and memorable evening, and I thought that was just gonna be it. I thought that was gonna be one of those like two ships that pass in the night sort of moments.
Yeah.
But then I think a month or two later, she texted when she was in New York saying, "Hey, I'm in New York for a night. Got a client meeting early in the morning. Let's grab a drink." So I was like, "Yeah, sure." Went to her hotel, waited for her because her meeting was running late, and I took her to Ink 48, which is this nice little hotel on 11th Avenue on the west side that gives you a breathtaking view of Midtown Manhattan. And we almost picked up right where we left off. There was very positive body language, tangible chemistry, and she at the end of the night she gave me a bunch of edibles that she smuggled in, and I was
Which I still find
grateful.
crazy. I still find insane.
No one's ever gonna stop an Asian girl. Let's be honest with each other.
So you're saying when you come to visit me in Seattle, you will not be taking a bunch of edibles home with you? There's a dispensary.
No,
There's a dispensary like 2 minutes from me.
Well, have you? Really?
Yeah, really. I haven't gone in yet, but it's.
But do you need a card though, right?
I don't think so. I don't think you do in Seattle.
Well, you know what that means.
You're gonna go visit?
I think we should let's take a gander.
Okay.
Anyways, at that night, maybe like a day or two later, we decided that, maybe I should fly out to see her. She's come out and see me twice. It's only fair that I go see her. So I was like, yeah, sure. So it took me a while to figure out some time, but we finally settled on, or rather, I was able to find time this weekend. So I'm flying out there on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fly back Sunday, and then we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see her. I don't have any expectations of the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to have a good time. I'm excited to spend time with a very lovely woman.
Yeah.
Someone who out of the last 2 times that I've hung out with her, massively enjoyed her company. I mean, you can't beat being in the company of a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So That'll be a hell of a weekend. Um, Getting my hair cut tomorrow. Get my hair did in the morning. Not trying to be a diva. But my hair is
Okay.
gonna look good. Um, I'm a strong believer in the fact that my hair only looks good for 72 hours after the haircut. So she gonna get the full 72 hours of my good haircut.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's that, we were texting tonight. She's excited to see me. I'm excited to see her. It's gonna be good, man.
Yeah.
I'll have to give you an update after in a week because I fly. So I land on Monday at midnight, and I fly out to Phoenix that afternoon for work for a week.
Jesus.
And I land back in New York proper on the 2nd. So that'll be a nice little update. I'll give you the update for San Francisco. I'll give you an update for my week out in Phoenix.
Whole lot of
a
updates.
Grand Canyon mini trip. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We just get the preview now. We just get the preview, but the real thing.
Get the preview now. You get me pre-trip.
Yeah.
I haven't packed anything yet. I'm thinking about maybe doing some laundry tomorrow morning. My flight's at 6. I'll leave here at 3 to beat the afternoon rush at the JFK. I'm just gonna pack everything tomorrow.
Okay.
Fly by the seat of my pants. Not trying to make this a thing. But when I was having dinner, I sort of bared my soul to my friend. I was like, listen, I'm excited to go see her in San Francisco. I really am excited.
Yeah.
But
I
don't want to be too excited because being too excited means you're liable to be disappointed.
Yeah, yeah.
Not disappointed at her, but disappointed in the results of whatever happens out of that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a good job of staying cold and distant to girls because that way I can't get disappointed. It's a very childish, churlish, in an immature way to deal with people, but it's the only way I know how right now. And I know it's not the best way, but it's something that I'm working on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can feel myself before I fly out there feeling something. And I'm doing my best to suppress it. And you're probably asking me, why am I suppressing it at all? That's not a healthy thing to do. But I have to do it so that I don't get too ahead of myself. I'm doing my best to stay in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past. There was this great movie trailer that I saw. I forget what the movie was about, but there was this scene that really spoke to me. It was this man talking to this woman, and it was like, you need to start. Basically, the gist was you need to start enjoying the present. She's like looking through a telescope, right? And on the boardwalk, and she looks out onto the water, and a boat is magnified in the lens, and he goes, that's how you see your future. As things are coming up, you're bringing something far away close to you. That's normal human behavior. You flip that telescope around, you know how everything like close becomes really far away?
Yeah.
He goes, that's how you view the past. Everything is just beyond reach. What you need to do is stop looking in through the telescope and start looking through your own eyes and appreciate where you are in the world right now. And not to sound melodramatic, but that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get too ahead.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm excited because I hear that the weather's gonna be pretty good. Let me pull up the weather right now. San Francisco. San Francisco, California, not Venezuela. Did you know there's a San Francisco in Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Argentina, Mexico, Philippines, Costa Rica, and Guatemala? I didn't know that.
I did not know that. It looks like it's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
just
really
pulled up the
mild.
one in.
I
Yeah.
got it open for you right now. It does not get any hotter than 70 for the rest of the week.
Hey, man. Ask
And
me if I'm about that life.
it's super
That's
mild though. Like
cold. Jesus Christ.
it's 65 will be the high tomorrow, and 57 will be the low. The
That's
highs and
jeans
lows.
weather.
Yeah, it is. The highs and lows are only separated by 10 degrees every single day, it seems.
She told me bring swimming trunks. Done. I asked her what I should pack. She goes, bring some swimming trunks, some sunglasses, and an outfit to go out in. So my question to you, Reza, should I bring a suit?
I don't know what type of club she's gonna be taking you to, Sandy. It could be a suit club.
I don't know if it is a club.
No, I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't take a suit, but that's just me.
Just like a nice button down, right?
Yeah.
A button down that goes well with some jeans, right?
Yeah, don't even need a tie. Just tuck that.
No tie?
Yeah, I wouldn't do a tie at least. I would wear that shirt. I would wear that button down, tuck it into the jeans, have some nice shoes to go with that.
Oh, you know I'm on my shoe game.
I know you got the shoe game and the sock game, and you got your fresh haircut for 72 hours.
Oh, dude. I do me. I mean, I do me already, but that's something different.
I would not, but that's because I'm not gay, so.
What, you want to do yourself?
No disrespect to you. No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, I look good.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm
Why
sure.
you let you
I'm
be
sure
on top? Shit.
you.
I ain't rude. So yeah. Well, that's where I am right now. That's me
that's
being
good.
vulnerable with you, and me being vulnerable on the podcast
On the
for
podcast.
everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like when you decide you're going to run for president in about 20 years or so, maybe 30 years, people are going to come back and listen to this and be like, damn, he's pretty vulnerable.
Yeah, man. For the one he loves.
Is that
you
it?
know,
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not use that word.
You did use that, but I didn't take. I really didn't take it as in like the way, like you're in love. I just
Let's not
get ahead of ourselves here, Sandy. You were sitting there talking about living in the moment, and all of a sudden, you're sitting there looking through like you're sitting there looking through the Hubble telescope over here.
Oh, listen, I'm just trying to live it 1 minute at a time. I ain't trying to put labels on things just yet.
Yeah.
But I will give credit when credit is due. And if I do feel like it is something that both of us can tangibly feel, then I might let somebody peek inside. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, oh, it sounds really good. I hope you enjoy it. I can't believe it. Like, even though I know it's tomorrow, I still feel kind of like weird that it's tomorrow because you've been talking about this for a minute now. But I hope you enjoy yourself. You know, I'm sure you will. I feel like it would be very difficult for you not to enjoy yourself. So
it's gonna be a crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days.
Yeah. And by the time you get back, I'm on a full week off of work here. I'm gonna be like in the full swing of things. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting right back into my work for back home, catch up on that stuff, start to participate in some meetings that we have for that week. So I'm really excited for that. Like, I never thought I'd miss my homework so much, but I miss my opportunities to put in good quality work, because everything that I'm doing now is kind of like almost like I'm just like rushing. I'm doing little small things here or there, but I can't like commit myself to big things yet. So.
No, I hear you. When is my trip out to Seattle to see you?
You fly out on August 21st, I believe. That's Friday, right?
I think so. Yeah, 21st.
And then you leave the night of the 23rd.
Gotcha. And I think I am I think I go on vacation the week after that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Let me I know this is terrible to do on a podcast, but
Well, yeah. For me, I get. So you come out here that weekend, then the next weekend I come back home, and then the week after that I'm going to England for 2 weeks, or Europe. I shouldn't have just limited to England because I'll be in Paris too with Lena. Super excited for that. Had a bit of a major annoyance. I'm not even going to sit here and lie about it. I was very upset yesterday. My flight was canceled.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I booked these tickets to London from September 8th to September 22nd. We booked these flights in February. I think it was like February 27th or something like that when we booked the flight. Now it's flies out of JFK, so New York City, and we booked it from New York City. So spoiler alert, we're from Delaware, but we booked it from New York City because it was like $100 cheaper than any flight leaving from Philly. So we figured, we'll just take a bus up to New York City. It'll take us like an extra 3 hours of commuting, but we'll save that money, and we're just gonna be hanging out together. And especially since after this long period of time that we've been away from each other, it'll fly by. So booked this flight, and then everything's been fine. And then about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, we got an email saying that the flight was pushed back like half an hour or so. And I was like, oh, actually, you know what? That's good, because we can just give ourselves a little bit of extra time. I remember when you and I went to Brazil and we saw that line at security and we were like, shit, we're going to miss our flight. Want to get there as early as possible. Yesterday, I'm running back home and I get an email. I finally check when I get in. It says our flight's just been straight up canceled. Air India is discontinuing their flights out of JFK, and that the only option is to give us a full refund. There's no other option according to that email. So I assume they were getting a lot of emails yesterday, or calls regarding flights that have been canceled, just like ours. So I called them up, and I'm very upset. Lena gets in on the call too. We do a conference call, and the guy basically. So we booked it through Viama, one of like the ticketing agencies, and they were like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We can only give you a full refund. And I said, well, what about Air India? Do you think if we call them, they'll be able to do something for us? And the reason why I'm upset is not like I'm getting a full refund. I get the money back. The problem is that we booked the flight in February because it was a great price. So the tickets now are an extra $150 at least each. The only good thing is that we can fly out of Philly for that same price, but we've also already booked our bus tickets, which are non-refundable. So we're looking to spend an extra like $300 total to fly out now, and I'm a bit annoyed by that.
Absolutely, and as you should be.
Yeah, so we're working through the details right now, but at the end of the day, it looks like we're just gonna have to suck it up and pay for it. But I'm upset because we've been planning this for so long. We booked the tickets so far in advance because we're just trying to do everything early. We're trying to make sure we have no hiccups, and all of a sudden something like this comes in and kind of throws a wrench into the operation. Now, thankfully, the two of us have the means to afford that. It's not a crazy amount of money. It's $300 total, so $150 per person. But there are some people that can't. Like, there's some people that $300 means a lot to them, and I think it's unfortunate that they're not doing anything more to help us out. And I get that they really can't put us on another flight because their whole airline is no longer flying out there. But I wish they would be a little more responsive and a little more helpful. So yeah, we'll see.
It doesn't seem like you got any good service.
Yeah, but I wasn't the kindest person either. I could have waited a day, and called, but I really wanted to get it done yesterday. So I was very short with everyone. So I could have handled it, I guess, a little bit better. But at the same time, even before, I was kind of like, I don't think I was a dick about anything, but I wasn't like super kind to them. I'm not smiling and greeting them and stuff like that. But I don't think I was rude to them initially, but they were very short with me, and that just kind of pushed me over the edge. And granted, I was very close to the edge before the phone call even started. So,
okay.
Like I get that. I get it. I completely get it. Like, they're customer service representatives. There's nothing that they can do. And when the guy said there's nothing they can do, I asked if I could speak to his manager because I wanted to just, get this over with. Well, Lena kind of pushed me. She's like, just ask to speak to the manager. And he's like, I'm a manager here. I feel like he took offense to that. And I was like, I didn't mean any disrespect by that, but I'm not going to tell you that because I don't care right now. I'm just looking I just want to find the person who can help me the way I want to be helped, or that knows all the answers, or can like, I just want somebody to sympathize and understand what I'm saying, like why I'm upset, and then go from there. But like when I explain my situation and you say, well, there's nothing we can do, we can only give you the full refund, I don't really want to hear that. I want to know, I just want you to acknowledge that you understand where I'm coming from. I didn't really get that yesterday. It is what it is, but
that's really disappointing.
Yeah. But
that's one of the things, like not to sort of shill out my own company, but the company I work for, one of the car products, is known for their absolutely legendary service.
Yeah.
And in a moment like this, it's because the people that you would call, like let's just say you got your card hacked and they spend thousands of dollars.
Right.
The particular card that I'm talking about has no limit. Anyone who is approved to get this card, like I'm approved to get this card, theoretically has no spending limit.
Yeah. Right.
So somebody could really run up a bill on you. The way that what we call customer care professionals, you call sort of call center people, they're trained for this product to always believe your story.
I see.
To always make it feel like you have somebody who believes you, who's on your side, and who's actively working to try and fix something. Now, we can always figure things out later,
Yeah.
But when you're on the call, it's important to maintain that relationship with you guys. And I know that they don't have a reason to do that, but I'm disappointed that you didn't get better service is all.
I like that idea, that policy. I never really thought about it like that. When it comes to customer service, I've heard of plenty of companies being bad, their customer service being really poor. And I never really, I mean, like, I can kind of summarize maybe in my head, the customer service of people that, they're responsive, they pick up the phone, I guess, first and foremost, and in a reasonable amount of time, and that they're actually helpful, they understand what you're going through and stuff. But to actually kind of lay it out like that sounds very reasonable to me, right? I guess it can be tough to incentivize people to actually do that.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt the company to trust you on the phone.
Yeah.
If anything, it improves how people view you.
Right.
Now, should you have actually committed some kind of fraudulent activity, we'll catch you later.
Mm-hmm.
But on that initial call, they're trained to believe you. Unless it's so outlandish that you're just trolling somebody. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I'm just disappointed that you didn't get the service you deserved.
Yeah. I'm a bit as well. Yeah. No, I hear you. I guess I'm obviously disappointed. But thankfully I've definitely I've cooled down quite a bit since yesterday. And Lena's already sent so this is like Lena's specialty. Anytime she has a poor customer service experience, she always makes sure that she lets people know, or she lets the company know. Now, like, she doesn't go on Twitter and put them on blast or anything like that, but she'll like email the company, she'll email whoever she can to kind of right the wrong, and whether there's anything that they can do in this particular situation or not, we just want to let them know why we're dissatisfied. Because for me, I don't plan on flying Air India ever. I would say ever again, but I've never flown with them. This is the first time I bought a ticket. And I feel like I should kind of take the blame for it too, because the ticket was the cheapest. I don't remember by how much at the time when we were booking it, but I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. They're a big airline. It'll be cool. And then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. How could I have known? But still, just should have just booked it on British Airways or something like that,
Yeah. What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, I don't. I know. I think you said it the other day. I remember Aron was saying. Our good friend Aron, he's a very loyal Delta flyer, and I know that he flies with Delta because he completely trusts that company, and
He's been flying with them for years, right?
Yeah, he's been flying with them for years, and
does he have over 1 million miles?
He's got to with the amount of flying that he does. I know that he.
I think he actually does, right? Because for his parents' wedding anniversary, didn't he send them? He bought them like one of those up in the air tickets, like around the world, first class.
Yeah. Yeah. So
all on points.
Yeah, and he's so loyal to the company that he'll spend extra money even if there's a cheaper flight because he knows he gets the service that he wants and needs with Delta. So
right.
Always got to go with a good reputation and the people that you know, I guess.
I mean, getting 1 million miles
doesn't hurt. Getting 1 million miles doesn't hurt,
Yeah. That reminds me, I read this article recently. It was called Flying for Free.
Oh, yeah.
It was up 2 days ago in Rolling Stone. Title was Up in the Air.
Mm-hmm.
Meet the man who flies around the world for free. Last year, a young man walked into the Seattle airport and took the next flight to anywhere, and he hasn't come down since. We'll put a link in the description, but this guy, he treats it like a quote-unquote a hobby. It's called a hobby where you try and fly for free or, a band of savants with an odd mix of skills, which is to try and figure out how to fly for free as much as they can without getting caught. It's really ridiculous. It's really cool. We'll put a link to the article in the description.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. 'Cause I thought it was.
It's a great article.
I thought it was a different one.
Yeah. What are you
listening to?
Yeah, what are you listening to?
Podcasts. That's been my big thing this week. Podcasts. I was listening to Bill Burr. I listened to Shaq's podcast this morning.
Bill Burr's podcast this week was hysterical.
But he didn't
laugh out loud funny.
He didn't tell the story that he said he was going to tell. On Thursday, he and Nia they mentioned at the very end there was a story, and he said he'll tell it this week, and he forgot to do it. Maybe I should hit him up and let him know. But
you should hit him up, yeah.
I should
at least for Mondays.
Yeah, right. And then I listened to Shaq's podcast, which had me laughing out loud. That was hilarious.
Menaconda.
When he said when he stuffed it was tube socks. He's like John, I got a confession. They were tube socks. I was dying. I was running home yesterday. Then I finished listening to. I started listening to Mark Maron's podcast, and he did one with Vince Gilligan. I started listening to it I think yesterday, and I finished it today. That one was also good. Vince Gilligan, he kind of reminds me of Justin. Like the way he talks, the way he laughs. I don't know about you, but he reminds me of Justin.
Okay.
And then I was also listening to This American Life, which I haven't finished yet. Probably like halfway through. And it's the one about what happened to American car makers. Why were they so unreliable for so long, and how did Japanese car makers capture so much of the American car market over the last like 50 years or so? And that one's actually been really interesting. There seems to be a lot of factors involved, but one of the big ones are unions, and then the other one is assembly lines. Quantity is always better than quality, whereas Toyota and some of the other Japanese car makers, quality is way better than quantity. And while they try to do a lot of things to improve to speed things up, they feel like everyone should be very happy. Everyone should be a happy employee. They should be very productive and feel like they commit to the team or contribute to the team. And like the saying, never stop the assembly line. Like you never shut down production.
Right.
They'll do that all the time in those car manufacturing companies. They'll shut down they'll stop production if they have to, if something's wrong, if somebody slows down, in order to make sure that quality doesn't fall. So that's been a really good one. That's very interesting. I didn't know that would be a good podcast, but I've really been enjoying listening to it. I might finish it tonight before I go to sleep.
I had a friend just say or recommend Planet Money.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
I've heard.
an NPR podcast, which
Yeah.
sort of gives you like a holistic view of the world from an economic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be an interesting one. I definitely listened to Bill Burr's Shaq's. I was listening to Mark Maron as well this week
Oh yeah.
on when he interviewed Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh, I haven't listened to that
Um,
one. I saw that though.
and yeah, Sir Ian McKellen's teaching Mark Maron how to appreciate Shakespearean work. I listened to Joe Rogan, an old episode of Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan's Experience podcast because they're 3 hours long, and
They're
so
so long.
when I'm at work, I can listen to it, walk away, put pause on it, and come back and basically get like 3 hours worth of listening in over the course of a day.
Yeah.
But he was talking to that urban outlaw guy, Magnus Walker, who takes the old Porsches and rekits them.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting to listen to. Just it's always exciting to listen to someone who's super passionate about something.
For sure.
Any new music or?
Not so much this week. There's only one song that I started listening to again. I think it's called the International Players Anthem by UGK and Outkast. I haven't heard that song. It's
Oh
the song's
my
only
God.
the song's only like a year old. No, it's got to be 2 years old. I heard it when I was in Indiana, I think, the first time. That's been 2 summers ago now.
Wow.
And I heard that song that summer like a few times, and then I never heard it again. So when it came up on like a playlist or like the Spotify radio or something like that, I was like, oh snap.
That's wild.
So, you know what? And I've been listening to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I was listening to that at work today. I don't typically.
Wow, one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah, I love that album. I don't listen to podcasts when I'm working because I have a lot of trouble paying attention to the podcast and then paying attention to work. So.
Yeah, when I'm designing and I'm in that like crank phase,
Yeah.
where it's not so much the ideation phase but the execution phase,
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect. It's perfect to
Yeah.
just like have something to focus on, where I can sort of like ADD out on the podcast but still focus on the work.
Yeah, I hear you.
I started
about
listening to some Usher Confessions.
Oh snap! I was thinking about listening to that a few weeks ago, and I never did.
I was listening to Usher's Year of the Gentleman. I think that's his best album.
Neo.
What'd I say?
You said Usher because you were saying Usher a
I'm
second
sorry.
ago.
Yeah. Neo's Year of the Gentleman. I think that song has just some amazing hits. I went back to Lupe Fiasco's The Cool. I think one of the most perfect rap albums out there. I did. What else did I do? I was all over the map this week. There's this guy named Ryan Bingham, who's this country star. Remember that movie Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges?
I don't remember it.
He was the country singer, Down on His Luck, with
I
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
don't think I've seen it. What's it called again? You said
Crazy Heart.
Crazy Heart. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
It's a phenomenal movie.
The poster looks very familiar, but yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, well, Ryan Bingham does I think he was up for an Oscar. I don't know if he won the Oscar.
I see.
But he was up for. He might have won it. For the song called I think it was called "The Weary Kind," was the song, and so I went back and listened to his album Mescalito, that he published in 2007. And there's this song, South Side of Heaven, that I've been playing on repeat all week. So, that's what I'm listening to. I bought a new book. The Little Paris Bookshop, that I'll put a link into the description. I'm very excited. I just started reading it on the subway. Let me read you the description of the book. And for those of you out there who need a good book, buy The Martian by Andy Weir. You won't be disappointed.
I'm still waiting on my damn hold. I should have bought that book. I've been waiting on the hold for a minute now.
Does it automatically come to your Kindle?
Yeah,
or what?
Yeah. It's it'll automatically download as soon as I'll get an email about it, and it'll automatically download. And by the way, Jeff Bridges won Best Actor and Best Original Song for The Weary Kind. Yeah.
Awesome.
Maggie Gyllenhaal was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but did not win.
Yeah. You know who was also in that movie? Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I looked that up too.
Yeah, he sang in that song too.
Really?
Not that song. I'm sorry. He sang in the movie. He wasn't on the country song.
Yeah, that's what I figured you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, but the little Paris Bookshop, it was published on June 23rd of 2015. The main character is Monsieur Perdue, calls himself a literary apothecary. From his floating bookstore in a barge on the Seine River, he prescribes novels for the hardships of life. Using his intuitive feel for the exact book a reader needs, Perdue mends broken hearts and souls. The only person he can't seem to heal through literature is himself. He's still haunted by heartbreak after his great love disappeared. She left him with only a letter, which he has never opened. After Perdue is finally tempted to read the letter, he hauls anchor and departs on a mission to the south of France, hoping to make peace with his loss and discover the end of the story. Joined by a best-selling but blocked author and a love-lorn Italian chef, Perdue travels along the country's rivers, dispensing his wisdom and his books, showing that the literary world can take the human soul on a journey to heal itself. They're calling it internationally best-selling and filled with warmth and adventure. The Little Paris Bookshop is a love letter to books, meant for anyone who believes in the power of stories to shape people's lives. You know me, man. I'm a big story guy. You're a big story guy. So when I read this, I was very intrigued. I bought it with that one click buy, and it's on my phone now.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I
love that.
Yeah, I think the Amazon one click is one of the most dangerous things out there. It's like, what do you mean I don't get to review my order or purchase before?
Yeah,
I want to see it in the cart. I want to see it in the cart.
I couldn't turn it on because I'd have problems with that.
Dude, yeah, I need like the 4 steps.
Yes.
So I can get talked out of it at every moment. At every step along the way.
Every single time you hit a step, you strongly consider your decision again, and you're like, yeah, I'm sure. And then you get to the end, you're like, you know what? I can use that $5 though.
Yeah. Well, you never know when that might come in handy.
You never know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm reading this week. Watching True Detective. Did you see the newest episode?
I still haven't seen the first season. I got a whole lot of catching up to do.
You don't need to watch the first season.
I want to.
Whoa. I'm reading this article right now that says Almond Breeze. More breeze and almonds, says lawsuit. Almond Breeze is a almond milk brand that I buy.
Okay.
And it says Almond Breeze is facing a class action lawsuit for false advertising because it turns out that its special almond milk recipe is essentially just almond flavored water. According to the company's UK website, its almond milk is mostly spring water. In fact, only 2% of its alleged almond milk is actually almonds.
Wow.
The rest is calcium carbonate, tapioca starch, sea salt, bullshit, and more bullshit. That's funny.
You about to get in on that class action lawsuit now?
I kind of want my money back then. I don't know. Whatever. I like the flavor. Go fuck yourself. What are you watching?
So I just had my cousin over for dinner, and we started watching Kimmy Schmidt's Unbreakable, which my girlfriend's been trying to get me to watch for the last 6 months.
What'd you think?
We blasted 5 episodes. It's funny. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I love 30-minute shows.
Absolutely.
Well, no. I love 30-minute shows for certain things, but then the hour-long shows are I'm really starting to get a strong appreciation for hour-long TV shows. I think the medium is so perfect for storytelling. With movies, you just can't get that same. You can't do the same, depth. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. You just can't explain enough And I used to love movies because you would see so much, but now I'm really enjoying long seasons of TV shows where they're able to really draw out seasons, tell stories in a very perfect manner. So things like Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I love all those shows, and I really think they're fun. I love to watch them, but at the same time, that hour's a long commitment to make to a TV show when you come home from work and you only have like 3 or 4 hours to kind of do your own thing before you have to start getting ready for bed. So 30-minute shows are just kind of nice, quick, entertaining things. You could just throw an episode on with dinner and then not be committed anymore. If something else pops up, you can kind of just be done with it at that point.
Right. I totally agree for the same reasons.
Yeah.
If I'm like coming home to eat dinner and I need to watch something quick, I don't want to invest an hour.
Yeah.
Because I'm done eating by the 20-some minute, and that's usually when the 30-minute show is over.
Right.
And I just sort of, like you said, or like you feel, have a nice little cap to it at the end. Be like, and that's that episode.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think that's it for me this week.
Yeah. Yeah, same for me.
Awesome. Well, I'm Sandy.
I'm Reza.
Thanks so much for listening. We will see you in a week.